Welcome everybody to the Zapier and Stylish Cost Calculator tutorial. For this tutorial, if you want to follow along, we're going to open up three browser tabs. We're going to have Zapier open, we're going to have a cost calculator that we're working on, and go ahead and create a Google Sheets document as well. For the cost calculator, I think I'm going to use our website designer template. It's just a very popular template, so I think a lot of you, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you can follow this tutorial and understand what's going on, but I think this would be a good example to start with. So what I like to do is start off with the user details that you're collecting in the form. So whatever your email form is, name, email, phone number, project due date, pop that in here, name, email, phone number, project due date, and then after that you're going to go here and start copy and pasting the name of each element. So this one is website platform. How many pages they're going to get will be next. Paste it into this part here, by the way, that's so that you keep the format. And then additional features, you're not going to copy that again, you're going to copy each and every one of these additional features. But to make things simple, I'm only going to copy probably the first two or three, like this. SEO, how many keywords they want. Why is it doing that? Again, we have to select it and then paste it at top so that we don't screw up that format. And then if they want blog posts. Cool. So this is a very basic thing. Select the column or row, go to view, freeze, and freeze this one row. I also suggest giving it like a black color or something, just so that you know that it is your header row. So when you scroll down your list, this will change down, but you'll always know what your header is. So that's pretty important to do. I like to clean things up by doing that as well, and just delete any space that you have so that it's a nice line. So this is something I do just to clean things up. And also I like to do that as well. Awesome. You can always resize your rows, make it a little bit cleaner. Good. Now that our Google Sheets up and running, let's go ahead and create that Zapier. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new Zap by clicking Make a New Zap at the top left corner. And we're going to select to catch a webhook. Webhooks by Zapier. Perfect. By catching a raw webhook, this gives us a lot more flexibility. And we're just going to do a regular webhook. We're not going to catch a raw one. Perfect. If you have Integromat or Pabbly or any of the other 1,000 Zapier style programs out there, just go ahead and copy this. We'll just follow along, and it's going to be a very similar workflow. I will have another tutorial out for different major platforms, but for now, they all kind of work the same, where you're kind of catching a hook and then you're making an action after. So you're going to go ahead and press continue, and it's going to give you a custom URL. So copy this URL here, go into cost calculator and go to calculator settings, scroll down to webhook events. If this UI changes in the future, it's going to be similar, but we're going to have another button right here that's going to switch it from webhook to custom fire JSS. But for now, you're just going to do it right here. And let's say if someone emails the form, right? That's when we want to send this webhook. You're just going to pop that webhook into there. Perfect. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and save the calculator. And what you want to do, this is the most important part. You have to select every option. And by every option, I don't mean that you have to select all the drop-down menus, but every element in your cost calculator, which is the slider, the drop-down, and every single one of these. If it's a checkbox, you have to click them all. These checkboxes too. I forgot to pop that into the Google Sheets document, but it's going to be the same thing. So select maybe one or two on the sliders. Doesn't matter, as long as every single slider and every checkbox is selected. That's what's important when you're sending that initial webhook to Zapier. Super important. So go ahead and press the thing. We're going to do mic test. Okay, pop in whatever phone number you want. project due date, and press submit. What that does is that's sending the initial information over to Zapier so that we can start mapping things out. So let's press continue to see if it's caught any of the okay, good. So it caught the information that we've sent it. So this is good. So let's press continue here. And now it says, what action do you want to do? Again, just to reiterate, you could hook it up to your CRM. You can hook it up to Google Sheets to collect the data. You could, there's a bunch of use cases that we're going to put in our help desk. So go ahead and check out the help desk link to find out more use cases. For now, let's do the Google Sheets, which is Google Drive. The event is going to be creating a row. Choose an existing file. Yeah, so we're going to actually update a file is what we're going to be doing. My apologies. That's the reason why I was having an issue. You actually have to click on Google Sheets itself. Perfect. And then we are going to create a spreadsheet row because we're adding to a row. We're not updating a row. So that's important here. So I'm going to pause the video while I do this connection, but go ahead and press sign into Google Sheets. You will click on to here and you should only see one thing that says My Google Drive. So you're going to click on that. Then you're going to click on spreadsheet and find the name of your spreadsheet. So that's why it's important to label your spreadsheet before you connect it to Zapier. Perfect. So we've selected Web Design Leads, which is the name of our file right here. The sheet 1 is just a tab at the bottom left here. So if you want different tabs, maybe for different months or different years, 2021, 2020, then you can do that as well. That's another idea. And we're just going to start populating that. Zapier is pretty good at understanding things. So let's just actually type in name. Mike Test was the name, so that's how we know that that's correct. Email, click down here and select email. Make sure not to type email up here because that would be wrong. If you typed email here, you're going to have the word email on all your Google Sheets. So what you have to do is go down until you see your email here, which I believe was under Mike Test. Okay, so the way that it's categorized, as if you can see here, you got it's things that start with the word quote items, and that's the items in the actual, that's what the user selects, but you're looking for quote form data. So if you keep scrolling down, it's going to be big because there's a lot of information in these quotes, but right here, quote form data, and then your email. So there we go. Phone number, again, if you just type in the word phone, you should be able to get it. Here it is, number 777. Perfect. Project due date. Here it is, project due date. Great. And then now this is where it gets a little bit more difficult. Website platform, it's the description of the platform that they're getting. No, that's not the description. WordPress right here. So that's the platform that we chose during the test. How many pages? Again, click on all options, and then you're just gonna have to look for a unit number here. So what I would do, how many pages, question mark, unit 8. So that was the slider that we picked. So if you look here, quote form items is showing that it's on the quote. This is the name of your element, and then this is the value that the person types. So if we go back to here, we can see that we select 8. Sometimes what I like to do is the first slider, I like to select 1, second I select 2, third I select 3. So it's easier to find when you're connecting that Zapier. That's another little thing I like to do as well. I'll pause the video while I input the rest of this. So this is super important. Contact form here, that was that feature, that kind of checkbox, whether or not the person is selecting, like, do I want this, yes or no? Do I want the contact form? So this is important to mention that we can only show a value of either 0 or 1, 0 being off or false and 1 being true. So this is going to be an important part here when we're selecting the Zap, and we're going to type in contact form. And then, so the contact form name is contact form, obviously, and the unit was 1 because we selected. That means that's a true value. So just want to explain that to you here. Perfect. So now that we've selected all, we can go ahead and press continue, and we can go ahead and test it. And let's turn on that Zap. Perfect. There was a problem. Okay, we have to do a confirmation. That's not a problem. I'll pause the video and do that confirmation. Awesome. So we press the on button here. Your Zap is on. This is great. Let's go back to the calculator. Let's select Shopify. Let's select, let's just say 13 pages. Let's do contact form only, but not slider. And let's select 2 and 8. And let's just go ahead and do another mic test number 2. Any email you want in the world. And submit. Awesome. Let's see if this worked. I don't know why it's doing that. Nice, it came up. Let's try it one more time. Let's press that email quote, mic test 4. And there we go. Look how amazing that is. So we can see that I selected that contact form, but I didn't select the slider add-on option or the scheduling, again, because that was a yes or no answer. So I believe there is a way to turn a 1 into a yes or no. You can do that through conditional logic within Google Sheets. But one thing I did forget was the total price. So let's go ahead and do that. Type in total price. And also too, this is worth mentioning that if you want the value of how much each is costing, for example, 8 pages might be $800, you can do that as well. So click here, how many pages, and then maybe you can put the word cost beside it. Something like that. And then here you can put units. That might be worth something doing. If you do that, anytime that you edit your Google Sheets document, you have to go back in the Zap and then re-enter it. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Go back into your Zap, and then you're just going to click. Oh, did we add the total? Yeah, we added the total at the very right. I'm going to increase the font of it so that's very obvious that that is like our main driving factor. And just refresh your fields, and you're going to see the total price here. So go ahead and type in total price. Now, the total price is going to be this one right here, which is also containing the conversion value as well. So there's going to be some HTML in there, and that's something that I can look at fixing up pretty soon. How many blog posts do you need? So now everything is kind of pushed down, I believe. I think that's what the issue is right now. Yeah, so everything is kind of pushed down. So what you have to do is cut this, pop it into here. How many keywords here? So I guess Zapier just kind of, because we added to the left of the row. So we have to just fix all that here. So this is something you want to do when you're completely done building your form. Maybe the first month or two, you're going to have issues where, you know, you're forgetting to add something and you have to turn off the Zap and fix it and turn it back on. It might be a little frustrating at the beginning, but once you have it going, it's smooth sailing after that, and you're just going to love it. So how many pages, or how much is the cost, right, for how many pages? So type in how many pages into the search bar right here. Make sure not to type it where I was just typing. How many pages? And now we want to get the value, so how much we're charging for that, and that would be right here. How many pages? So you want to make sure that that word right here correlates to up here, and then that cost. Perfect. So let's go ahead and save that. Now the only problem is yeah, actually all that data was already sent before, so we don't even have to resend new data. We can actually just retest the action, go into here, and boom, everything is there. So let's go ahead and turn on that Zap again, and check it out. So we got the how many pages? 8 pages of WordPress. We got the cost of how much we're charging that person. And I don't know if that is actually correct. So let's figure that out here. 8 is costing. Let's do the detail list here. 8 is costing $800. So I guess what we did by accident is we put the unit price, how much they're paying per page. So actually that was wrong. So I'm glad that we caught that error. So let's go ahead back into Sheet and fix this up here. So when we click down here to search how many pages, you're going to see element price. So that's actually the total price of the element of how many pages. So that's kind of how that's how our naming convention is. So let's press continue and let's resend a new action and check it out. Done. 800. This is great. Here we have all that HTML, which sucks, but you can just press the left button here and then you can get that, at least that total price of 3,600 euros, because that's how we have ours in. You can just select these here and resize them to maybe something smaller so that your form stays nice and clean. But yeah, you can have all your user details. You can have the project due date or whatever custom field you chose. We just built that feature recently where you can do your own. You can add to it your form as much as you want. So for example, you can go down here, and if you have another question to ask people, whether it's an address or even a text box or another address or phone number or whatever it is, a date, you can go ahead and add that here. That adds that to your email quote form when people are filling out the email quote, and you can pop that into here. So just to close off, there's a few things I'll say that you can do extra as well. So for example, if we minimize this, I don't even know how to do that in Zapier. There we go. You can, at the same time that you're catching the hook and creating that spreadsheet, go ahead and add it to your MailChimp newsletter, add it to your CRM, send yourself a text message if you want. I think Zapier now has a text message capability. You can send yourself an email. You can even do some really cool conditional logic stuff in the filters. So for example, you can say, if the price is more than so much, send an email to the team leader of your company or organization. Or if the person selects a certain feature that they want. So for example, if they wanted to select, if that person wanted, I don't know, a sliding banner, and you have an employee that only does the sliders and banners, well, then you can send an email to that person saying, hey, like someone now wants this service. This is a game changer, and I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to do with it. So please do send us an email, show us the use cases that you're doing with it so that we can put that into our help files and show it off to other users on what kind of use cases and cool stuff that you can do with Zapier. And just another closing note, again, the way that we built the webhook in Stylish Cost Calculator, we did it in a way where it's a raw webhook, meaning that you can connect this to any platform. You're not just, you don't have to pick just Zapier. You can pick one of the other 15 and cheaper alternatives that are out there. Another closing note would be that you can make it so that it's when a user completes a form, or if before the user completes that email form, if they just press that detailed list and they're just checking out your prices, you can actually set a webhook for that as well, which is this webhook here. That one's really cool because you won't get the user information. You're not going to get the name, address, and email, but you can at least find out what people are looking for. You can get these statistics here, and then you can count these statistics at the end of the year to be like, okay, what services are people more interested in? And then the third one that we have here is when someone clicks the payment button. So when someone either buys it through PayPal, Stripe, or adds it to cart with the WooCommerce. So that's really cool as well, because there's some of our users that connecting it, have it connected with PayPal and Stripe, but they don't, but they want some kind of functionality where they want to collect some information or they want to kind of do something. And now this gives you the power to do that. So I'm really excited to have this video to you guys. I hope it was informative and I didn't drag on too long. Make a comment in YouTube if you have any questions regarding it, or give us a shout through our email ticket system. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys using it. Thank you very much.